Factsverse presents the 10 most extreme anti-cheating techniques. Number 1. The mini office. This is a great way to keep the roaming eyes of students on their own paper. Simply take 2 folders together and create 3 walls to keep students honest. There's one problem with this anti-cheating technique, though. Because the student has so much privacy, they can create a cheat sheet and hide it inside their mini office, allowing them to cheat without the teacher ever knowing. Number 2. The wraparound. Another way to use the folders is to have students wrap them around their head. It may look strange, but it can be an effective way to keep their eyes on their own paper. It's the same kind of concept as a dog wearing a cone on his head after he has surgery to prevent him from biting and scratching his stitches. Once you cut a hole in the folder for their eyes, the students will only be able to look one way – down. Number 3. Leave your phone at the board. Smartphones are full of information that can make it easy for students to cheat. They're also relatively easy to hide. The best way to prevent this is to write each student's name vertically on the board. When each student comes in the room to take their test, they would need to leave their phone on the chalk tray under their name. This will ensure that the students are taking their tests without the help of the Internet. Number 4. The flying teacher. The best way to keep students from cheating is to keep an eye on them at all times. This can be difficult in a class of 20 or 30 students. When the teacher's walking around one side of the classroom, the students on the other side can cheat. This teacher had a brilliant idea. He figured if he was high enough off the ground, he could keep an eye on everyone all at once. He put a metal rack in the corner and sat up high to observe everyone. Hopefully he didn't have to oversee a really long test since he doesn't look very comfortable. Number 5. Eyes on your own paper. This anti-cheating method will look familiar to anyone who has seen Sally Field in The Flying Nun. The students in this class look like they're wearing a habit. However, it is a way to keep them from cheating. The teacher took a strip of paper to wrap around the students' heads. A piece of paper was attached to each side of the students' heads, making it impossible for their eyes to be on anyone's paper other than their own. In 2013, teachers at a university in Bangkok, Thailand came under fire for making their students wear these contraptions on their heads. When the photo of about 100 girls wearing the hats to take a midterm went viral, people were outraged. The students couldn't understand why because they believed that the hats worked and they promoted concentration. Teachers at the Aviation Center had a similar idea when giving a test, and students had to wear cardboard boxes with a hole cut out on their heads to take exams. Number 6. Metal detectors. Cheating has become such a problem over the years that some universities are giving teachers metal detectors like the ones they use at airports. Cheating technology has become a lot more sophisticated, and the typical little cheat sheet has been replaced with electric erasers, wireless earpieces, and cell phones. Educators believe that since cheating methods have gone high-tech, their methods of detecting cheating also must go high-tech. Number 7. Monitoring tests with drones. At Thomas More College in Antwerp, Belgium, teachers are taking full advantage of the latest technology to keep students from cheating. While students are taking their tests, DJI Phantom drones equipped with GoPro cameras are used to hover over the desks and send real-time images to the teachers who are monitoring the test. Some people believe that educators are going overboard with this technique. These drones only have about 15 minutes of flying power, and if not operated properly, they could crash down on the students' heads. Also, if the drone gets low enough, the students' hair can get caught in the propellers, or they can blow the papers right off the desks. Number 8. Testing in the playground. A middle school in Nuha, China, located in the Hubei province, cheating was getting out of control. It got so bad that students started organizing cheating rings, and the teacher had to put a stop to it. Because the classrooms were small, students could look at another student's paper. To rectify the problem, teachers set up desks in the playground where there was much more room. Since there would be so much space between each student, they could not help each other with the answers. The teacher would walk around and monitor the students, while another teacher would sit high above the students to watch for any strange movements. Number 9. The most highly secure exam. Each year, China's education ministry holds the KAKOA exam. It's like the SATs in the United States. Over 9 million students take the exam, and it can either make or break their chances of getting into college. This test is considered to be the most high-pressure test in the world. When the students are taking the test, they have video cameras on them the entire time so that staff members can watch everything that the students are doing while taking the test. Police officers sit outside using wireless signal detectors so they can identify possible transmissions of exam information through radio devices. In 2011, when students were taking the exam, the police detained 62 people for selling wireless headphones, two-way radio devices, and other electronic devices that were suspected of being used during the exam. Number 10. Indian Army Examination. This is the most extreme of anti-cheating techniques. The Indian Army must have been having cheating issues with its candidates because they went to great extremes to prevent it. When the 1,159 potential soldiers arrived to take the exam, they had to strip down to their underwear to make sure that they didn't have cheat sheets or electronic devices on them. Unfortunately for the potential soldiers, the strip search wasn't enough. They had to sit on the ground, 8 feet from each other, in their underwear to take the hour-long exam. While the potential soldiers are taking the test, a uniformed guard walks around to monitor the test. Some potential soldiers were unhappy with the test-taking conditions and said that sitting on the ground in your underwear is undignified. Subscribe for more.